After a nationwide search,
Tension,
over 8,000 people auditioned.
turmoil and tantrums.
Every week for 8 weeks, 2 acts have battled it out.
Tears and sweat.
Last weekend, you voted for your favourite runner-up.
One vote and one vote only.
Tonight, 1 act will win the ultimate prize.
They'll be walking down this runway to hopefully launch their pop careers.
A record contract with a top producer.
It's all a dream coming together.
Hosted by Ronan Keating. Get your act together. The grand final. Tonight, 6:05, BBC1.
My name is Dennis Jackson.
He just wants to make life exciting.
Signature legend, the numbers on the drum. And in here, right, I'm just going to have a little room just for awards.
Dennis can feel greatness calling.
Just walking the beer. I can't be the man without the woman. Huh? Just walking the beer.
You've conquered Tenerife.
Lenny Henry.
I can't compete with you.
He's the man. Well, he'd like to be.
Leader always gets the girl.
Tonight at 8:30 on BBC1.
Now on BBC1, today's final score.
Good afternoon. The Easter programme is always very important for championship, promotion, relegation issues all around the country, and no different this year. Let's immediately take a look at the FA Carling Premiership. All about the relegation battle this afternoon as far as the fixtures are concerned. And Coventry fans will be delighted. These are latest scores, but it could be a great Easter for the Sky Blues. They're beating Southampton by 1-0. George Boateng after 64 minutes. That could really ease their worries near the foot of the Premier League. But Everton fans, well, they're desperately in trouble because having lost the derby on Saturday, now they're trailing 2-1 at home to Sheffield Wednesday. Francis Jeffers gave them the lead after 12 minutes, but 2 second-half goals from the Italian striker Benito Carboni mean the Wednesday, who had 5 defeats on the bounce before today, are ahead. Middlesbrough 3, Wimbledon 1, that's the latest score. Charlton have just scored at West Ham United. So the relegation battle, Charlton, who were 3 points from safety, are making their move in the final few minutes as well. Liverpool are beating Nottingham Forest by 2-1. You have to say Forest are just about relegated. Those Liverpool goals, by the way, are Jamie Redknapp and Michael Owen. And it's Graham Stewart, who's just signed for Charlton Athletic. The former Everton player has put Charlton ahead. Evening kick-off, Newcastle United against Tottenham Hotspur. So just to reiterate that, Coventry look like they're getting some distance between themselves and the bottom places. Everton are going to be in trouble if that stays the same. Sheffield Wednesday are easing their worries. Middlesbrough, Wimbledon both mid-table. Forest 1, Liverpool 2. Well, Liverpool could move up a few places. And that could be a vital 3 points for Charlton Athletic. And Southampton fans won't like that. We'll be going to the video printer very shortly, but just before we do, there were 20 runners this afternoon in this afternoon's Irish Grand National at Fairyhouse. Ted Walsh's Papillon was aiming to improve on last year's second place. The Len Lungo-trained Celtic Giant, one of 4 British entries, was among the favourites. Here's the closing stages, and it's Tony O'Hare, the commentator.
Papillon and Right Said Fred together. They're followed by Risk of Thunder, then Druids Brook. And they're all safely over the 12th and turning right-handed past the stands to start the second and final circuit. Right Said Fred, the inside, leads Papillon in second. Risk of Thunder in third, then Bob Tracy running fourth, followed by Druids Brook. One of our own is next. Manus the Man has improved on the inside. Then Tartooth and the Real Article, and then Glebe Lad and Rockets Castle. The Quads is next, then Celtic Giant, and then Feathered Leader as they go over the 13th, followed by Full of Oats is dropped back, then Paul's Run and Ultra Flutter. A bad mistake there by Tartooth, who's been knocked back towards the tail of the field. Going towards the 14th, another ditch, Papillon on the outside of Right Said Fred, then Risk of Thunder and Bob Tracy. Glebe Lad has improved, then on the outside Druids Brook, another bad mistake by Tartooth, who's right out of contention now as they go towards the top of the hill. Fence number 15, Right Said Fred, Papillon the blinkers, Druids Brook on the outside. The Real Article is right up with him. Then comes Risk of Thunder, Bob Tracy, Glebe Lad, Rockets Castle, then one of our own, Manus the Man, then Feathered Leader. And behind Feathered Leader is the Quads. Tartooth has been pulled up at the back of the field and also pulled up as Ultra Flutter. They've 8 fences left to jump, and Right Said Fred the leader, followed followed in second place by Papillon. Risk of Thunder is third. Then comes Druids Brook in fourth. Leablad improves. Behind Leablad comes the Real Article, and then comes One of Our Own. They're followed down the hill by Manus the Man. Bob Tracy has lost a few places. Then Rockets Castle, Feathered Leader. The quads beginning to make a bit of ground, and they're followed by Paul's Run. Celtic Giant struggling at the back, and Full of Oats is last. 7 from home. Right Said Fred the leader. Right Said Fred narrowly from Papillon. Druids Brook close in third. They're followed by Risk of Thunder, then Glebe Lad. One of Our Own running a big race as they jump the final ditch. Papillon, as Right Said Fred makes quite a bad mistake. The Real Article also blundered. They turn away from Ballyhack. They've 7 furlongs to race and 5 fences to jump. Papillon, Druids Brook on the outside. They're followed in third place by One of Our Own. Then comes Risk of Thunder and the Real Article. Then Glebe Lad. Manus the Man improves. Feathered Leader beginning to creep closer on the outside. Bob Tracy trying to get back into it, having lost his place. But as they come towards 5 from home, it's Druids Brook in the lead. Druids Brook met it wrong. Papillon's in second. Quad's a mistake in mid-division. And running down towards the fourth last, Papillon on the inside, Druids Brook, One of Our Own. They're followed by Risk of Thunder. Glebe Lad on the inside, then the Real Article. Feathered Leader going easily just behind them, and just ahead of him, in fact, is Manus the Man. 4 from home, Druids Brook from One of Our Own on the outside. In third place is Papillon. Then comes Risk of Thunder. They're followed by Glebe Lad getting a run up the inside as they run down now towards the third last. And it's Druids Brook the leader. Druids Brook in front from Glebe Lad on the inside. One of Our Own. Manus the Man just behind them. And they're being followed by Risk of Thunder. Feathered Leader still going nicely in behind them as they come down towards the third last fence. And it's Glebe Lad who jumps on the inside as Druids Brook blunders. Glebe Lad leads, Manus the Man in second, Risk of Thunder's third. They're followed in fourth place by One of Our Own. Feathered Leader still going nicely in behind them as they run down the straight towards the second last fence. And Glebe Lad and Tom Rudd in the lead in the Irish National from Manus the Man and Jason Titley in second. They're followed in third place by Risk of Thunder, then Feathered Leader, who's running on in fourth, and they're clear of the rest as they race towards the final fence. Glebe Lad, Risk of Thunder on the far side, Feathered Leader coming there strongly on the near side, and then Manus the Man at the last. Glebe Lad and Feathered Leader. Feathered Leader on the near side, Glebe Lad the centre, Risk of Thunder and Manus the Man as they fight it out inside the last furlong. Glebe Lad, Feathered Leader on the near side. Glebe Lad and Tom Rudd from Feathered Leader as they race up the line. Glebe Lad is going to give Mick O'Brien his third Irish National success. Glebe Lad wins the Jefferson Irish National. Feathered Leader is second, Manus the Man is third, Risk of Thunder 4. They're a long way clear of One of Our Own.
A confirmation of the result of the Jameson Irish Grand National. Glebe Lad, 8-1 co-favourite the winner. Feathered Leader, 12-1 second. Manus the Man third, the 8-1 co-favourite. And fourth, Risk of Thunder at 14-1. More racing news this afternoon. Jockey Richard Dunwoody has broken the all-time British record for wins over the jumps. His victory on Knight Templar in the Cadbury Business Park Novices Chase at Wincanton put him level with Peter Scudamore on 1,678 victories. He's just broken the record with a winner in the 4:30 Yorkshire edition. Means that now Dunwoody goes on to 1,679. Congratulations. That's it for racing. The football is getting very exciting this afternoon. Let's go back and see if there's any changes in those FA Carling Premiership scores. Coventry still leading Southampton by 1-0. Everton still trailing at home at Goodison Park. Sheffield Wednesday by 2-1. Middlesbrough are beating Wimbledon 3-1. Evening kick-off Newcastle Spurs. Forest losing home to Liverpool by 2-1. And that Graham Stewart goal for Charlton after 75 minutes. If the scores stay the same, that means that Charlton will go out of the relegation places and Everton will drop in. All later scores will bring you the results and reports as they happen. Let's see what's happening in the First Division this afternoon. And as we look down, we're looking for Sunderland's score because Sunderland are on the march to the First Division. Crystal Palace 1, Sunderland 1. Birmingham City having trouble at home against Watford, 2-0 there. A goal has just been scored there. Swindon Town beating Huddersfield Town by 2-1. The other interesting scores we're looking there for this afternoon, Bradford City are leading at Bury by 2-0. They're fighting for the second automatic promotion place. And Ipswich are beating Queen's Park Rangers by 3-1. So, good Easter for